Good morning, ladies. It is Cheryl from YogaBellies here, and welcome to the very start of our 6 weeks of self-care. Now, everyone is in lockdown at the moment. It's really miserable, but we've done this before and we just need to get through it and stay sane and keep moving and look after ourselves before we can start to look after other people. So I know that most of you are probably demented trying to homeschool as well. And we just want to do something for you specifically that's not about the kids, because I know you're so worried about, you know, your kids and your pets and your partner and everyone's not getting out and all the things that you want to be doing. We just need to get through this, guys, okay? So for the next 6 weeks, myself and the other amazing certified YogaBellies teachers are going to be bringing you one webinar a week on a variety of topics. And today I'm going to be talking to you guys about self-care and movement. So think of this one as an introduction to what we're going to be doing the rest of the time, okay? I know it's very early in the morning, and I know that a lot of you will be watching this on replay as well, but I've put together some slides and I'm just going to go through them with you, just tell you a little bit, give you a few ideas for getting moving, for setting up your self-care. And I've also put together some resources for you as well, in a handout that is in the files section of the YogaBellies Sanctuary group on Facebook. Okay, guys, so lots of links there, things that I'll talk about, and I'll refer to them during the presentation as well. So I shall just share my little screen. If we can figure out the techie bit, always fun. Here we go. All right. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see this. Let me see. Cool. Okay, here we go. So self-care and movement during lockdown. Now, if you're in the YogaBellies Sanctuary group, I imagine that you have been attending YogaBellies classes at some point, or you're a person, you know, that is interested in self-care. I'm not saying that you always have time for it, but you are interested in self-care and yoga and movement, and you want to keep that up during lockdown, because, you know, why wouldn't we, basically? So this is me, and I'm just going to give you a little overview of what this is going to be about. So this is going to take anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes, probably near the 30 mark, as this is an introduction to our 6 weeks of self-care, okay, guys? So today I'm going to be talking about, you know, what is self-care, because we have all these preconceived notions. What is self-care? And you might be thinking, yeah, that's great, Cheryl, but I have 4 kids at home, I have 2 dogs, you know, I've got a partner. How am I supposed to fit any of this in? So we're going to talk about ways that you can fit in small bits of self-care that is absolutely essential to your well-being, especially right now, okay? We're also going to look at developing a plan for movement, for getting moving, if you haven't been already. I know it's so easy to slump into depression, anxiety about the future, about work, about businesses. I've been there. We've all been there, guys, and we have to get each other through this. I'm going to be talking about holding each other accountable in the Sanctuary group and finding an accountability buddy as well, okay? And we're going to look at why is exercise important for energy. So you probably know this stuff, but we're just going to go over the basics again for those who don't. Getting more movement in at home. So you may be in a flat, you may be in a small house with a tiny garden, you may have nowhere to really go nice socially distanced walks. So it's just fitting in little bits of movement. These are just a few rough ideas for you, okay? A couple of ideas for getting the kids moving as well, and also a little bit about setting up a self-care zone for yourself. I can almost hear you all going, oh my God, I've absolutely no room, but there are ways we can help you through this, all right? Okay, so what is self-care? Self-care is quite simply, we'll put me over here, it's just taking care of yourself so that you are mentally, emotionally, physically better able to handle life's ups and downs, okay? Now, if you don't practice self-care, if you do not look after yourself in these ways, you are not going to be able to look after anyone else. And I think often as women, we think that self-care is selfish, or it's something that we only deserve if we've done something else. You know, oh, I've worked myself to death, I've taken care of all the kids' work, therefore I now deserve some self-care. And it's not like that at all. Self-care is absolutely essential. So at the outset, I want to change your mindset on self-care. It's not an added extra, it's not a bonus or a reward, it is an essential, all right? You know, we need to be everything to everyone right now. We're always trying to be successful. You're probably trying to work from home if you work. As I said, you've got the kids, the pets, everything, and you're all living on top of each other, and your brain is just, it's on overload, okay? Doesn't mean you can neglect your self-care, even if it's 10 minutes a day, and we're going to find ways to commit to that and work it into our schedule. Now, if we're not taking care of ourselves and we're not practicing good self-care, our energy is going to take a nosedive. Now, we're already in times of great anxiety, priming for depression. You might be eating crap, you might be drinking too much, you might be doing all of the above. Very tempting as well to just sit in front of the TV and eat crisps. As I said, I've been there, we've all been there. Just because you're a yoga teacher doesn't mean that you're not subject to all of these things as well. And that's why you have to really make the effort to keep moving and, you know, just get that self-care in there. Think of it as essential as brushing your teeth in the morning, okay? Right, so I've just popped together some ideas for you to try. Now, the teachers are going to be going in more in depth on various topics over the week. So this is just a little introduction, all right? So you can note these down. And as I said, I put together a list of resources with links to things that you might like for self-care, some basics. I put it together in a self-care document in a PDF in the files area of the sanctuary, all right? Ask for help from your friends and family or people you can hire to do things. And you're probably thinking, yeah, very good social distancing. People can still help you with things. I mean, I am in Singapore and I run YogaBellies, you know, virtually, and I have a team in the UK that help me, and it's really no different from being right next to someone. You can do it. If you can hire someone to help with something, I mean, obviously you can't hire cleaners and stuff just now if that was something you did do previously, or childcare. But, you know, if it could be people to help with your accounts, if you're really stressed, and this is one thing that could be taken off your plate if you're running your own business, different little things like that, you know, ask people to help, whether it's paid help, friends or family, get people to help. Sleep as well, this is a big one, and I know that when we're suffering from anxiety or depression, it does affect your sleep, and I'm a terrible one, obviously, with all my friends and family and business being based in the UK. You know, the girls are always laughing. They're like, do you sleep? I'm up in the middle of the night checking the emails, and I get up at 10 to 5 every morning. So, but I have to go to bed earlier. So I go to bed at 9 to make sure that I get a good 7-8 hours sleep every night. If you're not getting that, you're going to be grumpy, you're going to be more anxious, and you're going to be much less likely to move the next day. So we were talking about making self-care kinds of sizable chunks. So schedule yourself at least 30 minutes of some kind of movement every single day, all right? Now, if you've got a baby or you're trying to work full-time from home or run a business, again, you might be thinking, oh my God, it's just one more thing to fit in, but you will absolutely feel the difference, okay? So whether it's your yoga practice, whether it's, so during the last lockdown, I bought a little exercise bike for the house. So I've actually put a link to one on Amazon. I think it's like 70 quid. But you can actually get them on, that's on Amazon, but I think Argos as well. I think there's actually one £40 on Argos. So have a wee look about, you can get one. You don't need anything fancy, but even if it's a case of, you know, sitting in front of the TV or reading your book when you're cycling, at least you're getting that 30 minutes of exercise. It's a lot harder to get when you're not walking about freely during the day. If you don't have a whole block of 30 minutes, which I completely understand, especially if you have the babies, then try and break it into like 5-10 minute increments. Even if you can do, you know, 5 sun salutations in the morning, 5 before lunch, 5 before bed, all right? You know, that's 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, and that still adds up to your 30 minutes of exercise. So try and break it down in a way that's going to work for you. But I think the idea is, like anything else, getting into a new routine, a new movement and self-care routine for every day so that you'll stick to it. The more you're in the routine, the more you will stick to it. Get a massage. Now, during the last lockdown, I would pay my child to give me a foot massage, which he was delighted to get money for blood bucks, and I was delighted to get a foot massage. And this is something you can do if you're living with other people. Get someone to give you a massage. It's really important just now to have the touch of another human being, be that your partner, your child, your friend, you know, someone that you live with. whatever, just get and give it a massage. It's so, so therapeutic. And we have on the YogaBellies YouTube channel, YogaBellies TV, you will actually find some self-massage practices there as well, okay? And the link is in the resources document too. Other things like just give yourself a home facial or a manicure. Now, I know this is the complete cliche of self-care, but they really make a difference. And I love just sticking on a hair mask, do my nails, put on a face mask. Just chill. I like to put on self-tan as well, so it may or may not be your bag, but I like a wee bit of fake tan. It makes me look a wee bit healthier, I think. And it makes me feel nice, and that's the main thing. So whatever it is, whether it's hummusing your calluses or whatever makes you feel nice, then just take a little bit of time to do that. And it's even better if you can multitask and do a few of these things at once. Now, meditation as well, this may or may not be something that you already do, and or mindset work, okay? So let's talk about meditation. If you're looking for guided meditations, you will find a guided goddess meditation kit in the YogaBellies Sanctuary group as well, free of charge to our clients. And it has downloadable audio meditations and a very basic guide to getting started with meditation. I've also done various video meditations on our YouTube channel and also on the YogaBellies podcast. So please do check them out. Again, the links to these resources are in the self-care document. Basically, summary of this, just make time for you. You absolutely need time for you. Half an hour a day, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. It is possible. I don't believe that absolutely nobody can do that, all right? Go for your socially distanced walks as well. Now, I know that for some people this isn't, you might not have anywhere very picturesque to go. You may live in the middle of the city, but get out there, just get those steps up. Even get a stepper for the house if you can't bring yourself to get out or you have mobility issues, but just try and do those socially distanced walks. And in your tier, if you're able to meet up with other people, that's even better, guys, okay? Meet up with people, if it's allowed, in a socially distanced way, just to have that conversation, to have that connection. Make time to do things like read, watch a movie, or listen to your favourite music as well. So maybe you're feeding the baby and watching a movie, or you've got reading time, family reading time. That's something we do at night, where I put music on after dinner or when I'm exercising as well. But just reading, movies and music, things that you are, they stimulate you, but they bring you joy. So it's all about bringing yourself joy, when right now there is not a lot of that. A couple of other things. Again, these are no order. These are just randomly put together, things that I was thinking of. Focus on the positive. We are so close to the end. There is a vaccine. Things are going to get better. I know it seems absolutely dire just now, but we need to stay positive. I think I realised during the last lockdown that we've basically got two options. We can sit in a puddle of self-pity, feeling sorry for ourselves, or we can choose to be positive every single morning. It is up to you if you decide to be positive or negative, and it's going to change your entire day. And obviously how you spend your day, I'm sure you've heard before, is how you spend your life. So make that choice to be positive. Just think about the good things. Practice journaling. Now, this is a really good thing you can do. A gratitude journal. So I don't know if this is something you've done before. And my friend Audrey and I used to laugh at journaling. We'd go, oh, yeah, journaling, it's something I always mean to do, but I never do it. It's actually incredible. And if you take a bit of time, again, it doesn't have to be War or Peace. You can do it when you're sitting in the bathroom. You can do it 5 minutes before bed. Just what was I grateful for today? What went well? Focus on those things. Let go of any negative emotions and help your mindset become more positive. Another thing we're all really guilty of just now, especially, is screen time. So whether it's the iPad, the laptop, the phone, we're all like this 24/7, and I'm guilty of it myself, but try to keep it to a minimum, because the thing is, when we're looking at screens, we become more and more insular and more inside our own world. And especially if you've got kids and partners that need your support at home. I'm not saying don't look at computers and TVs, you need to at some point, but keep it to the minimum. Don't spend all day. Even try using the screen time app on your phone and devices as well, and it'll actually tell you. Sometimes it's quite frightening how much time you spend on Instagram, so it will help you kind of bring that down a bit. Two very, very simple things: breathing, so focusing on the breath, being aware of breathing in and breathing out nice and slowly, taking a few minutes to just breathe nice and calmly. Often we find that we are holding our breath because we're feeling anxious or we're doing something else, and we actually forget to breathe. And it's so important to just consciously bring your attention to the breath, even for a few moments, a few times a day. This is so helpful and really helps you find some calm. You will find a mindfulness and breathing practice on the YogaBellies podcast as well, if you want some guided assistance for that. Eating more slowly as well is something that really helps enhance your mindfulness practice, and is in itself a mindfulness practice. Eating more slowly, loads of benefits here. Not only does it make you more aware of what you're eating, it just makes you more aware of what you're actually doing. So don't be watching the TV. Don't be playing with your phone at the same time. Just be eating, just be focusing on the food and doing it nice and slowly, enjoying the food, tasting the food, making use of all your senses. And just use that as a mindfulness practice. Again, you're seeing how I'm multitasking all these things because I'm aware that you are busy, guys. Spread your schedule out during the week so that you don't burn out as well. Again, I am aware that this is easier said than done. When you're trying to homeschool, you're trying to still do your job from home, do the housework, cook, all of the many, many tasks that we have as women. But you need to take time for yourself. By taking just these 30 minutes a day for self-care, it's going to help you spread things out a bit so that you don't burn out. I don't want you to think of this as one other thing that you must do. This is essential for allowing you to get all of the other things done, okay? Another nice thing that I like to do, so before I go to bed every night, I actually make a list of everything that needs done the next day, okay? So I do that the night before, and that just helps me focus. It means it lets me put everything psychologically to bed before I actually go to bed, so that I am not, lying awake at night going, oh, what about this? It's written down. I know it's going to get done tomorrow because I've written it down. I've committed it to paper. So that is something that really helps me get a better sleep at night. Spend time outside in the fresh air and sunshine, guys. Even if you live in an apartment or a flat, even if it is snowing or raining, you need fresh air, you need sunshine. I know sunshine is few and far between in December, in January, don't even know what month it is. In winter, shall we say, but yeah, try and get outside, do your socially distanced walk every day. And, you know, if you happen to suffer from seasonal affective disorder, and I know many people do, even consider buying a sad lamp. But again, that's something that you can get from Amazon or probably Argos as well. They're not too expensive, and the sad lamp just replicates sunlight and actually helps give you that boost of sunlight that we all need. Okay, a couple other things. So take hot baths if they relax you as well. Now, I absolutely love hot baths, especially in the winter. And try adding some aromatherapy blends to them. So some people might like bath bombs or pre-made blends, whatever. Now, on the yogabellies.com website, on the blog, I have actually put together some aromatherapy blends if you just search through there. Some nice things that I like to put in my bath: lavender, sage, and lemongrass is really a very nice and refreshing one, but the lavender also helps put you to sleep at night. So there's different blends that you can choose to either, you know, kind of perk you up if it's in the morning, you're looking for more energy, or to help you relax. But a quick Google will tell you lots about different aromatherapy blends you can add to the bath. And again, you can get these on Amazon or from local providers, and it's just a couple of drops in the bath when you're running it. Positive affirmations are something that I find really, really useful as well. And if you struggle with things like self-esteem, or you're just feeling really crappy just now, try some inspirational reading, okay? So this is something I will talk about more, and I have put together an inspirational reading list for you, ones that I've read myself, recommended. If you are feeling quite down, or you're not feeling too good about yourself just now, a really, really nice book is Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. And it's a wee tiny skinny book, and you will read it in half a day, and it is so effective. There's not much to it, but it's a brilliant book. I can't remember who wrote it. Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It. I think it's in my list. But a really, really nice book, and it makes use of positive affirmations again and again. It's fantastic. All right. If you're practicing yoga at home and you're previously a YogaBellies client, or you're new to YogaBellies altogether, perhaps you would like to join YogaBellies live online classes. Now, this is exactly the same as an in-person class. You've got your teacher, you can see them, they can see you, you can join in with your classmates, you can have your chat at the beginning and the end. You're still getting that community feeling. You've still got your YogaBellies teacher who can advise you on your postures and they're taking you through a routine. So it's not just a case of watching, you know, a YouTube video, which we have as well. You can watch them on our YouTube channel, but the classes, you've got that continuation, you're keeping up your routine. Even if you're not in the area of a YogaBellies teacher at the moment, because all the classes are on Zoom, you can literally attend any YogaBellies class in the country at a time that suits you. So have a look on yogabellies.com /teachers. All the classes and teachers are listed there for all of our different styles. You can't see your family in person, but you can see them on Zoom and various other apps, Party, Facebook, whatever it is you're using. But try and schedule time, especially if you've got elderly parents or family members, you know, and especially if you've got friends living alone. And I know how hard it was for some of my friends living alone during the previous lockdown as well. So that is something that I am now aware of. You know, you really need to reach out to people. So it's for you and it's for other people as well. But schedule that time in and make a habit of speaking to people. Find yourself an accountability buddy. So when I post this video, I'm going to ask you to find someone that's also been on here, and or even just the group in general, you know, accountability for fitting self-care and movement into your daily life. Let us know every day when you've done it. I'm going to be asking who's doing it and what you're doing. No pressure, but yeah, do that and get to an online class, you know, get that routine up and running so that you just feel like a normal version of yourself. So I'm just going to run through a few of these things. So I touched upon journaling, okay, but journaling for self-care is absolutely amazing, especially during lockdown. Now, if you're alone, you're going to have more time to yourself. If you've got all your family at home, you're going to think, I actually have less time to myself, but you can still journal. And the reason is you are now in a different environment where you have everyone around about you and you can be reflecting on how that makes you feel, how you can cope with that, what's going well, what's not going well. And, you know, just really looking at the impact of this. You might even get a book out of this at the end of it, guys. My Journal of Lockdown, you know. People are going to be interested in this at points in the future. So who's to say it won't be a bestseller? But self-reflection is so valuable. And even if I read back over my journal from a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, oh my God, I was in a bad place, or, oh, I was really positive. What made my day positive? Oh, I exercised, right? Okay, so that made me feel good. That meditation worked. And it's just such a valuable thing to have. It will also help keep you sane during this time. If you need to vent, if your whole family are driving you nuts, which is perfectly normal, if you need to vent about it, vent in your journal, write it all down and then burn it. You can even get some on your phone. Lots of different journals you can get. I touched upon a gratitude journal. There's a few journals that I've put together as well. So the Yoga for Life journal, if you want to look at your menstrual cycle, which may have become irregular during lockdown, and its connection to the lunar cycle. There's a Mind, Body, Me journal, which is perfect for this situation where you're looking at starting new habits and creating a new health and fitness routine. And there's the YogaBellies for Pregnancy journal. So if you are pregnant at the moment, then this could be the one for you to track your pregnancy and reflect on how you feel at various points. And that's very useful. It's a really nice thing to have going forward, but it's also useful if you become pregnant again, you can recognize stages and say, oh yeah, this at that time, that X, Y, Z. All right, so just wanted to talk a bit more about journaling there. So fitting in self-care, we have touched upon this. You have to schedule it in, because if you don't, you're not going to get it done. You know what it's like, Mom, I need this help, someone make this, this needs cleaned, this is broken. Schedule it in and just say, this is my time and it's happening, and you're all going to have to live for 10 minutes while I do this meditation or these sun salutations. If you need help to make it happen, ask for help. Ask your partner, look, I need this 10 minutes. I'm going to lock myself in the spare room. Nobody disturb me. Explain why it's important. Explain why you will be a better person because of it. And they will see the benefits. My husband always says to me, he knows when I haven't practiced yoga, he'll go, you didn't practice yoga today. It is literally that obvious. And it will make a difference to your life, just that 10 minutes. Try getting up earlier. Now, anyone that knows me knows that I get up at 4:50 a.m. every day. And I remember I used to come in at that time, back in the day, before children and responsibilities. But I'm not suggesting that you get up at 10 to 5 every day, okay? Only crazy people do that. But get up half an hour earlier. And I've spoken to so many of you who are doing that just now. And just that half an hour before the kids get up, before your partner gets up, before you have to start dealing with breakfast and clothes and whatever else the demands are, just an extra half an hour, and you can do your meditation, you can do those sun salutations, and it's done. So if everyone usually gets up at 7, get up at 6:30, and you'll be surprised how quickly you get into this as well. And to compensate for that, just go to bed half an hour earlier. Really simple. Cut out things that don't add value, all right? Are you running around dusting and polishing 24 hours a day? Now, I know some of us have kind of OCD in this department, not me, might I add, but if this is a thing for you, then, you know, stop yourself. You don't need all that time on Instagram. You don't need to be polishing everything. Do you know what? If everyone's in the house, the place is going to be a mess. You have to accept some level of chaos during a pandemic. We're in lockdown. You could basically spend all day chasing kids about trying to tidy up, and it's never going to happen. Sack that extra hoovering session, or, you know, that extra 2 hours you could have wasted on Twitter, and just spend that time on yourself. You'll be amazed by the results you get from that. Another good thing to keep in mind, if you try and get up and move about every half an hour. Now, I have a little thing on my Apple Watch and on my phone that tells me to do that. It kind of buzzes, and it's like, right, get up, lazy. And it just gives you a lot of energy, even if it's just a trip to the bathroom or a couple of stretches. Just getting up and about is just going to get your muscles, your brain moving. It's going to give you, if you've been working all day, it's just going to give you some refreshment, a little bit of revitalization. You're going to come back feeling refreshed. If you can even get outside during that time, even better. Go for a shower, whatever. Just try and take some time, drink some fresh water, have a healthy snack, a bit of fruit, some nuts, something like that. Just something that's going to refresh you and get you on to the next part of your day. Couple of pointers here, I'll just go through these quickly. How to get more exercise at home. So, do you or do you not know how active you are? Now, you're probably thinking, what? But if you have, again, an app on your phone, or if you have one of these watches, like a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, then you can actually track your activities. So you can track all sorts of things. You can track your steps, any exercise that you're doing. If you're doing an outdoor walk, you can track that too. And you can aim, I'm sure you've heard of people talking about doing 10,000 steps a day. Well, during lockdown, you should still really try to do this. So I know it's going to be a little bit harder, but just keeping an eye on it on your fitness tracker can be really, really helpful. Movement while doing other things as well, all right? So I'm a big fan of this. So while I'm brushing my teeth, I try to do squats and lunges. And it just honestly, if you do these things, it's like, you know, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, and it's just extra exercise. Or when you're cooking in the kitchen, or you're getting the dog out, or, you know, kind of doing some nice stretches when you're watching the TV or reading a book. I like to sit on the floor and watch the TV. You know, I'll just be doing some ground-based, some seated poses, some seated postures, and it's just extra movement. So try and fit it in when you're doing other stuff. More chores means more movement as well. So I did say don't go over the top with the hoovering and the dusting, but if you do have to clean, because we do have to clean at some point, you know, clean out your wardrobe. You'll really burn quite a lot of calories chucking stuff out and throwing boxes around, and you're going to work up a sweat. So if you are doing this stuff, that's brilliant. That's going to go in your activity monitor, which can be quite addictive as more activity. But as I said, again, really important, just get that extra 5 and 10 minutes in the morning and the evening. 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes is a fantastic way to split it up. Get the kids moving as well. Now, children, especially of a certain age, they just want to look at iPads. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you must get them off their screen because it's so bad for them. We all know that. Now, you can't take electronics away completely. We know that they're using them for their homeschooling, and they do want them to talk to their friends as well, which is very important on FaceTime or whatever. But try to actually schedule breaks where everybody's like, right, okay, half hour, this is break time, this is lunchtime, we're all going into the garden, we're all going for a walk now. We're all going to do PE with Joe. We're going to do a YogaBellies Kids video on YouTube. Just something that again becomes, this is break time. So try and structure it like school for them. You know, get the ball out in the garden, something like that, whatever you guys want to do, but just try and make those scheduled break times. So again, it's in your schedule and it gets done. Play a game of freeze as well. So you know what freeze is, but do it with the music and everyone stops, and you can just like randomly stick the music on during the day. Everyone gets up and it just gets everyone moving at that every half hour again. And you know, you can give out like sweets or preferably healthy treats, or maybe an extra 5 minutes iPad time for whoever wins that kind of thing. All right. But yes, absolutely try YogaBellies Kids practices and other kids fitness workouts as well. So the PE with Joe was a great example, but we've got some YogaBellies Kids videos on our YogaBellies TV channel on YouTube as well, absolutely free of charge. You can be doing weights at home, kids can be doing them. You can use tins of beans for your workout. I mean, honestly, get creative, guys. Use a skipping rope, whatever you've got available, use it. You don't have to be spending money on this stuff. Tech-free activities indoors as well. So jigsaw puzzles, colouring, playing with toys or games, you know, bringing old toys out of the cupboard from the back of the cupboard, getting them right to the front. I know how difficult it is to get them off iPads. I have an 11-year-old who's in love with his iPad. And, you know, set that screen time, get the screen time on it so that you can say to them, or use screen time as a reward for having, you know, done some movement that day as well. All right, so positive impacts of energy, exercise on your energy levels, because face it, guys, we all need more energy just now. Exercise, especially yoga, prompts the cells in our bodies to make energy, which in turn is going to bump up your metabolism and make you feel energized, all right? Just movement alone is going to help do that. In addition to that, when we exercise, we also release chemicals called endorphins. I'm sure you all know that fantastic rush you get after you've exercised. You can read my article on how yoga makes mummies happy, and that explains how practicing yoga releases oxytocin, the love hormone as well, which just makes you feel like, ooh, nice and happy. The key to make sure that you aren't, the key is to make sure that you aren't doing an exercise that depletes your energy, all right? So be aware, again, talking about that mindfulness and practicing awareness of how you're actually feeling when you're doing the exercise. Are you enjoying it? All right, we don't always enjoy exercise, but if you're, you know, if you walk away from that exercise and you need to lie down, you need a nap, bring it down a notch the next time. It's about moving, it's about getting fit, but it's not about killing yourself either, guys. So just a couple of quick points about setting up your home self-care zone. Now, again, you may be living in a tiny flat like myself, and even if you can find a corner in your property, a corner, it could be your bedroom, a spare bedroom, it could be a shed, a nice little she shed that you have in the garden, or the garden itself. Just set up your home self-care space that you're going to use to practice your exercise, maybe for meditation, to listen to music, to practice self-care. And if you can dedicate a bit of space to it where you feel relaxed, every time you come to that space, you're automatically going to feel just a little bit more relaxed, okay? So for that space, you're probably going to need a yoga or a gym mat. I've put some links in the resources to these. Again, they do not have to cost the world. I've linked to the YogaBellies mat, which is definitely a more professional mat for those of you who do practice, but you can just as easily get a £5 mat from Tesco, or, you know, a beginner's yoga kit with your strap, your block, your mat, to practice at home as well, okay? You don't need anything fancy. Other useful things to have: cushions for savasana, for your deep relaxation, blocks and props to place under the hips, the knees, various things when you're doing different practices, and also straps as well to help you get into yoga postures. If you want to know how to use these props, I've written a couple of articles on these, and there's actually a video on YogaBellies TV on YouTube as well. Yep, I said blankets as well, didn't I, to keep you nice and warm at the end of savasana. Water bottle, make sure you stay nice and hydrated. Even though it's winter, you still need lots of water. Candles and incense to give you that nice smell. So you want to be using all of your senses during your practice, whether that's yoga or meditation as well. You may like to play music, relaxing music. There are some YogaBellies playlists on Spotify as well. that will help you get into the relaxation zone, all right? Now, another thing that I really like, I have an altar. Now, that doesn't have to be remotely, and you know, it may have pictures of goddesses, or if you are religious, maybe Jesus or whoever is your deity of the various goddesses, etc. It might have candles, it might have pictures of your family or things that inspire you. But when I say altar, what I mean is a space, something that you can focus on when you're practicing yoga or meditation, and it gives you that point of focus, and it gives you just good things. It might even be a mood board with things that you want to achieve during lockdown or after lockdown as well. So that concludes my introductory presentation to self-care, guys. I hope you picked up a couple of tips. Please do download the resource list. Choose and schedule your self-care. Just commit to that 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes first thing in the morning. Best way to do it. Make a note, now whether that's journaling or just a notebook, whatever, of how you feel after your self-care sessions. Now, whether that's movement, meditation, or whether it is pampering or something else altogether. And make sure that you know, you make any tweaks to this. So if you start doing it in the morning, you think, do you know what, this extra half hour getting up early is killing me, move it to the middle of the day, move it to the night time, move it around until you find a schedule that works for you. And the whole point of this is that you want to be able to take on the world. We want to get through this lockdown. We want to stay positive. We want to stay healthy. We do not want to become couch potatoes. We do not want the extra stone that we all put on during the last lockdown, guys. And we definitely do not want to allow ourselves to be depressed and anxious, all right? Schedule in your times for yoga, your walks, your movement, your aerobic exercise, whatever that involves, and try to set up in your home or garden some kind of self-care zone. Okay. Well, that is the conclusion of my little webinar. And next week we have the lovely Annie Perry, certified YogaBellies teacher and founder of YogaBellies for Fertility. And she is going to be talking about relieving stress using aromatherapy. Okay. If you have any questions, please just pop them up underneath and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Now, did anyone have any questions at the moment? No problem, Charlotte. Yes, the resources are in the files section of the YogaBellies Sanctuary, guys, okay? Yes, you can get all of the journals. You can buy all of my journals on Amazon, and there's links to that in the self-care as well, self-care practice as well. Okay, and the next one will be next week, as I said, with the lovely Annie. Thanks, Annie. So Annie is next Thursday at 8 p.m. GMT, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys there. But thank you so much. Thank you, Siobhan. And namaste, ladies. Please take care of yourself, and I can't wait to see you all soon. See you later.